Is there something...
Nothing, really. It's just a question that I contemplate every time before I ascend to Dawn Cloud. For the Titans, does the falling equate to death?
Ah, a pondering truly deep. Time is on our side. Do you mind sharing?
While all living beings must ultimately face their demise, Kefali has yet to meet theirs. Their journey continues unhurriedly along this long path.
Are you suggesting that Kefali may not have truly passed?
Yes. For dying implies an ongoing process, an action, whereas death signifies a static state, a definitive termination. In contrast to mortals, Titans exist on a space and time, thus elongating their passage into death. The notion of their fall is but a misinterpretation born of mortal ignorance.
Excuse me.
Ah, an intriguing concept, albeit challenging to substantiate. After all, Kefali has maintained a profound silence ever since the era Arasa, while scholars and priests alike have conveyed the message of the gods' imminent fall.
Perhaps the gods in their arrogance deemed it beneath them to reveal their perspectives to mortals.
Could you elaborate on your statement?
Circes, the kin of the Sky Father as recounted in myths, now resides within my brain. Were I to inquire, Kefali would have no cause to refuse.
Oh.
That very well could be true. But what if the world-bearing Titan still chooses to remain silent?
In that case, the myths crafted by the people of Amphorius are nothing more than pitiful jests.
It's worth a try. I believe, and I'd love to witness the fruits of your theory and the change it may bring to this imperiled world. Because I completely concur with you on this aspect. If the Titan has indeed met their end, any response from them would be impossible.
Ooh, cutscene. Girl.
Please, Professor.
The children of humanity have indeed created a spectacle.
Welcome to Dawn Cloud. The atmosphere here carries a greater sense of solemnity than the mundane clamor of the Memorial Palace, with entry permitted only to the invite. Only esteemed beings grace this place, and among them I've received priests, scholars, warriors, and now we even have the honor to be in the presence of a Titan. Oh, what a joyous occasion.
Once deemed a blasphemer, now a surrogate for revered divinity. The honor should rightfully be mine, shouldn't it?
I'll notify Kindness and the others of your arrival. Kindly wait for a moment. A soldier will be here to guide you shortly. In the meanwhile, you're welcome to explore the vicinity, but kindly remain within the guard's view. Delaying the crucial meeting is something none of us wish to see.
I'm well aware of Kindness's methods. There's no need to emphasize that.
As you wish. Your cooperation is much appreciated.
Alas, I had hoped for a brilliant plan from you, but it turns out you just left one cage to enter another.
Save your concerns. I know very well what I'm doing.
I shall depart to explore the surroundings then. Now that I look around, I wonder if there are any murals bearing my portrait around here. I'm quite intrigued to see how the children of humanity beyond the grove perceive another Titan.
Off you go. I won't be joining you. This Titan appears to be quite at ease. I should investigate the Council of Elders' recent activities first.
Be aware, I can hear you perfectly well from here.
Yeah.
Watch this magic trick.
Oh man, now I have this eternal thing. Bruh. That's crazy.
Even blasphemy. Anaxagoras. I thought that you had died to the Black Tide, just like the other scholars.
As Kephales's priest, are you not aware of the decorum of respecting the dead?
Surely you jest. You blasphemous heretics are not worthy of respect from the Supreme. Let me remind you that you're currently in Dawn Cloud, so you'd better keep your deranged language to yourself. I am no longer that altar servant from years ago, who could only acquiesce to the commands of others. Now, I have plenty of ways to deal with people like you.
I'm not sure whether I should laugh or cry right now. I can't believe that a follower such as you could have been made by a creation Titan. As I see it, a dead Titan can't provide you with this level of confidence, right? Then who is it exactly? Could it be Kindness?
You. Seeing how fond of you Elder Kindness is, I shall let that slide for now. Leave immediately, and don't impede us from receiving the Supreme Being.
Seeing as we were able to hear of this matter from the mouths of others,
Oh my, what a thrilling confrontation. As expected of one of Kephales's followers.
Are you praising or insulting?
Praising him, of course.
Didn't you hear me?
Oh my god, now I'm gonna look like an idiot doing this. Alamak, why must I do this? I feel so dumb when I'm doing this.
If Cersei saw this puzzle, they'd die from laughter. I suppose I can just ignore this. Go melt it down.
Professor Anaxa! Over here! Anaxa? Word has it that the scholars of the Grove valiantly perished resisting the Black Tide. To find you here safe and sound, thank the Fates.
You could say it's the Fates toying with us.
It's only the Crimnoans and Idonians who chase glory through death. But your survival is a victory in itself. I'd settle for that. So, are you here to report the incident to the Council? I heard that after the Black Tide devoured the Grove, Akuma would be next in line. Even with the demigod of strife standing alongside humankind.
Tell me, how much does the Council of Elders know about the Black Tide?
Once Kindness and her followers learned of Circe's and Orynyx's fall, they proclaimed in the council that the Flame Chasers could no longer stand against the calamity alone. Yet, when the Crown Prince ascended to godhood and repelled the Black Tide, she immediately altered her tune, declaring that all was resolved beyond Akuma, with the only remaining menace now being Aglaya and her adherents. They might well make their move at the upcoming Citizens' Assembly.
No surprises there, those shifty opportunists. Thank you for your honesty, virtuous student.
Being an opportunist could very well be a facet of wisdom.
Shouldn't you be searching for murals of yourself? I've had enough of your prattling.
I was really curious to see how you would find the middle ground between both factions. So I came, but it seems as though this Kindness is much more ruthless than Aglaya. If so, why do you want to work with her? Could it be that perhaps you've decided to readily surrender this hollow shell of yours? Just because you feel like death is fast approaching?
I'm afraid you'll be sorely disappointed if that's what you truly think. I've had enough of this. Could the 15th entry hour arrive any faster?
Lord, he want to die so fast. Why you want to die, bro? It's not the time for you to die yet. Please don't die. Please, please. We kind of need you. We need you, Anaxa. We need you. We need you, Anaxa.
Every tendril, no, even every leaf could be the embodiment of Circe's.
As a result, mere mortals who did not know what the Titan actually looked like chose to paint them as a giant tree instead. Their wisdom was portrayed as fruit, to symbolize how they shared their knowledge equally among the masses. Such exquisiteness indeed.
This mural is quite abstract.
I really can't tell whether you are praising or demeaning yourself. Now I'm quite curious whether the Reason Titan has studied figures of speech before.
Of course I find such stylistic devices interesting. For all we know, this could be the answer to the question, what exactly are we?
I, for one, am not willing to admit that I could look this ugly.
Was this the reason why you failed in your attempt to refine my soul when you were ambushed at the Grove?
Since you are aware of this, why did you save me back then?
From my perspective, this point alone was enough to separate you from the average person.
How do two lunatics coexist in the same brain?
Therefore, it seems that your journey to Dawncloud this time is not just to seek protection. What, then, is the intention behind your actions?
The entire plan is stored in my memory, so why don't you look there?
Then don't mind if I do. 1 year old? 2 years old? Oh my! Even a member of the preeminent 7 sages must hug his droma stall to sleep? How interesting.
That's enough.
How unusual. Your soul is actually trembling. This must mean that behind this toy hides a secret that nobody knows, right?
Since our days are both numbered, I don't mind telling you more about it. This is a present that my sister gave to me. It's a doll that was made to look like our family pet.
So there are other members in your family, eh? Are they also living in Akama?
Don't you just love to pick through my brain? Go on, continue flipping through my memories. It won't take long. You'll discover the answer when you reach the memories of when I was 5.
Oh, the black tide is everywhere. I can't bear to look.
When I was young, I couldn't accept this outcome either. Georios, Aquila, Kefali, and you, of course. Although I prayed to every titan that I could think of for help, my efforts were ultimately futile.
Oh, this is why he doesn't believe in them.
Could this be the inception of your research into alchemy?
Indeed it was. Everything started from that verdant courtyard of yours. When I was pursuing my education there, I naturally also came to learn of the Thelisis's theory as well.
Oh, I remember that person. He was the one to come up with the concept of souls, right?
Not only that, he also believed that life, as well as the composition, movement, and transformation of matter, all stem from souls themselves. This is why I thought that, since all living things stemmed from the same origin, why could I not sacrifice myself in order to resurrect my nearest and dearest?
Anaxa, you...
I did it, teacher!
But this is absolute blasphemy. Regardless of how much freedom the Grove provides, such an act could cause you to be burned at the pyre. Your beloved, where is she now? Send her away from the Grove at once, to a place where nobody will ever be able to find her. Otherwise, the both of us will be judged by the council.
Calm down, teacher. My sister, she's still not in the mortal realm. Even to this day.
What?
It was naive of me to think that I could snatch the deceased from Thanatos' grip by merely sacrificing one eye. Equivalent exchange. All I received for that price was but an opportunity to see her for one final time.
Oh, let it go, Anaxa. As one of my best students, I cannot watch you go down the wrong path without doing anything to stop it. Never do something taboo ever again. Don't disappoint the deceased, and never
Since I was able to see her one last time. You're right, teacher.
I am sincerely...
I wish...
Continue the research.
No, teacher. After my fleet, I may have lost an eye. I have grasped the truth with my bare hands. Watch as I turn this.
Who would have thought such a secret lay concealed beneath that hefty eye patch of yours? However, this story doesn't seem...
The answer lies within the tale. If even you cannot understand it, perhaps you should relinquish the divinity of reason to me. After all, it'd be a waste for you to hold on to it. My story ends here. Now it's time for you to tell me your secret. After all, this is what equivalent exchange means, correct?
As expected, you laid a trap for me to step into, unfortunately. Even if I was willing to talk about my past, I may not know more about it than you do.
Oh? Are you saying that the...
Child of humanity.
Now I understand. No wonder you asked me to answer your random
Not only that, you're the only one who can shed light on my query.
Lord Anaxa. I saw you muttering to yourself and was wondering whether you were caught in a delirium of reflective. I have a message from Lord Lygus.
Kefali, the one who created the world. If you truly have not met your end, how will you answer the challenges of those who defy?
I didn't expect you to agree to Lady Kindness's invitation. What a wonderful turn of events. To tell you the truth, there are many people who hold grudges against that Lady Goldweaver.
Isn't that the Dromas draped in finery?
Avoid his gaze. I don't acquaint myself with blasphemers.
Don't worry. He's too full of pride to pay us any attention.
A student of Empedocles? I hear that his views run counter to the Venerationists.
This is what being a scholar is about. A collision of ideas only occurs when there are differences in beliefs, and it is such collisions that lead to progress.
Yet, in my view, there are only right and wrong perspectives.
Lord Lygus and Lady Kindness are just ahead. I'll take my leave for now.
Go melt it down.
No, I won't do it for now. I will save it as a checklist. But we got more important matters. We have more pressing matters to attend to. So, if you don't mind, let's go. Let's go. 3.2 story, and I already have this woman. So allow me to gamble. I gamble for the deposit. Oh yeah! I will win no matter what will happen. I will win. And how I will win? Because I say so. Because I believe that I will win. Like that. Back to back. Come on, back to back. Oh my god. I'm the only human being who ever do this. I thought I could come into this unsheath, but apparently not. Apparently, they didn't want to kill myself after having such good luck. So, one more time, for the blessing of Oryx, please. gosh, I forgot. Please! Alaba! Come on! Don't let me go into Hot City! Don't you dare! Don't you dare put me into Hot City! Don't you dare! Don't you dare put me into Hot City! Don't you... No Hot City! There we go! There it is! The queen herself has finally appeared. It took me into Hot Pity. But yeah, we got castorice food set. Oh yeah. And this is the only Litecoin that is good for her. Sadly, I will be doing this. $4,000 below, that's a bad idea. It should be enough. Yeah guys, I did it. I'm gonna prove for everyone as one, but I won't stream it. That thing can be needed for later. I may absolutely need that. Yeah. I'll read the encryption later, but for now, let's do something. I haven't got any good piece for her. Sadly, that is the reality of the situation. Crit rate and crit damage is good for her. It might be okay. Yeah, it's 2B, yeah, that's okay. That's like an okay stat. But did I give her more crit rate. I give her more crit damage. So like, it's around 40% crit rate. But this piece will focus more on her crit rate, because the crit damage is already up. Unless you want to go with this, but this is really damn trashy. Yeah, this is like a good replacement, but you get 80% but 105, which is really bad ratio.
To
Lord Anaxagoras, oh, I've heard so much about you.
Oh my gosh, I thought she would not look like an NPC, bro. Actually.
Head of the Nusporists of the Grove of Epiphany, notorious blasphemer.
Oh my gosh, sounds like Miss Pang, bro. Like her voice, like tries to make you so confident, but it's not.
Blasphemer, a Chrysos heir who bears Circe's core flame, a survivor of the Grove calamity. Did I miss anything? Well, if so, please be so.
Since Lady Kindness is already well acquainted with me, I won't waste any effort introducing myself again. But then again, perhaps the customs are different here. Back in my hometown, there is a form of etiquette known as honoring guests. The host will welcome their guest with warm hospitality by treating them to fine wine and a cozy bed. And yet, ever since I arrived, I have not been welcomed with warm courtesy or ceremonial gifts. Instead, I am met with intense scrutiny. Even more absurd, the host has sharpened their blade and instructed their servants to lie in wait in the shadows. Perhaps you intend to cut open my heart, retrieve the core flame, and then hold a grand feast for all of the guests.
Everyone, stand down.
Bro,
Thank
bro,
you for
bro,
understanding.
he noticed. He noticed. It's so funny.
I am but a feeble scholar who is not used to the stench of avarice and blood.
No need to be humble, my lord. From my perspective, your courage and gumption are worthy of the reputation of the Seven Sages. Your bravery is more than adequate to accomplish our...
So, you wish to start a war?
Well, since the Chrysos heirs are calling for war, we will respond in kind. Conflict is inevitable. Since Aglaya endeavors to suppress the virtuous commoners with blood of gold, we will not hesitate to display the rights and mettle the citizens of Akama are so entitled to. As to your question of whether peace is still a viable option, well, to that I can only say this. Everything hinges on the next citizens' assembly and whether they have a sudden epiphany amid the clamor of the masses. And since you, as a Chrysos heir, accepted our invitation, you have indeed given us a glimmer of hope.
What brazen arrogance. What you're saying right now is worlds apart from what you were saying before you retired your cleaners.
Bro, he's Mario, bro.
I
He's
don't
smart.
deny it. After all, they're responsible for cleaning up any threats, and just a moment ago, you were on the side of the Chrysos heirs.
Doesn't mean that he's on your side. It doesn't mean anything. He might be here to gather intel. That's why the threat is there, bro. Come on. Have a brain if you think about it.
But now that you're an ally of ours...
He's not an ally of yours. You be quiet. He's not an ally of yours.
we can continue talking somewhere else. As you know, these walls have ears. I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to discuss a treatise about the Venerationists with your teacher, Empedocles. Yet, it seems you subscribe to the Nusporists instead, Lord Anaxa. I've heard that this school of thought is one with many detractors.
It's normal.
Welcome back to the hub of the Demigod Council, Lord Anaxagoras. Surely you remember that countless eloquent orators have stood in this spot before and emerged victorious by stoking public sentiment with their words. And yet this tiny stage is the most profound embodiment of Akama in centuries. In 15 days, this site shall also become the most important, as well as the final turning point in Akama's history. May the both of us carry out our duties with honor and lead the masses back toward the Era Chrysia, a golden age with no death, strife, or trickery.
Oh my, 15 days and nights. That aligns perfectly with the date of your demise. Could such a coincidence truly exist?
Using death to prove myself fits my intentions perfectly.
What strong conviction you have. As expected of the hero who dared to stand up to the Gold Weaver.
As expected, she misunderstands you.
That's enough, Lady Kindness. Dispense with the niceties. I only accepted your invitation so that I can serve the commoners alongside the members of the Council of Elders. Don't test my patience with such superfluous formalities.
Well, you say that now, but surely you also require my aid as well, so that you can stay alive even when being pursued by the Golden Thread?
You worry too much. She won't show her hand too freely, as she still needs to garner support from the masses at the Citizens' Assembly.
Even someone like me can tell that only a sliver of her humanity remains. Surely you're not asserting that she will definitely act in a rational manner.
As you're no doubt aware, Aglaya covets the core flame that I possess, which makes it the bargaining chip that allows me and the rest of you to negotiate with her. However, in return, I'll need the Council of Elders to support me as much as possible. Naturally, this includes the guards as well. You're well aware how valuable Cersei's core flame will be in the era Chrysia that you are desperately pursuing. Talk is cheap, so you'd better act prudently as well.
I understand. After all, this battle of wits is just a means for each party to acquire what they need. As long as your request is reasonable, the Council of Elders never shortchanges its allies. Since we're both intent on mutual cooperation, let's not mince words and just speak plainly to each other. Let us decide how much we can secure for ourselves and how much we're willing to sacrifice, like true philosophers, with our words and wisdom. Continuing from the earlier topic, let us discuss our common enemy, Aglaia. She is the second most experienced Chrysos heir across the whole of Akama, who has gradually lost her humanity to the ravages of time and the ablation of the core flame. A formidable opponent indeed. Admittedly, there is ample reason for her to take your life. Yet your previous reasoning is quite sound. As a seasoned political animal, it's unclear whether she will actually cross that irreversible boundary. Is there anyone present who can swear by the sacred vow of Kefali and guarantee that you...
If Aglaia required a suitably intelligent Chrysos heir, then I'm the best fit for her needs. However, it's quite evident that she has no need for a Chrysos heir who could break free of her control at any time. Since I believe in neither Titans nor the prophecy, there's no way that I would willingly walk on the path that she extols. Given how rigorously she enforces her principles, how would she ever accept a heretic such as me?
I understand what you mean. At the very least, the both of us agree that this tyrant who wallows in extravagance and greed is the greatest threat to achieving peace in Akama. The Council of Elders is willing to defend your right to live, just as we defend every oppressed citizen. However, I regret to say that sentiments in favor of the Chrysos heirs and Aglaia are only growing in magnitude. The peace that we are aspiring toward, as well as everything that we hold dear, will be destroyed completely. The city will be burned to ashes, and the citizens' blood will be shed. Tell me, what are you willing to do for our esteemed citizens so that they can vanquish the enemies of our fine city?
Although the circumstances are rather unfortunate from an objective point of view, it is an undeniable fact that ever since the Grove was attacked, I have become the de facto leader of the Grove. The Council of Elders needs more backing if it wishes to topple Aglaia, and it's evident that the Academy wields considerable influence. At the very least, I have served as the Grove's special envoy to Akama for a significant amount of time. Of course, this also means that I will hold a crucial vote at the Citizens' Assembly.
In the name of Kefali, Akama thanks you for your sincere and valuable thoughts. At this stage, it's clear that you and I understand the benefits to be won from this discussion. Let me put it plainly. The Council of Elders has always been renowned for its fairness, and that fairness is built on a foundation of sincerity. The Council of Elders has vowed to all citizens of Akaba that it will always remain loyal to them. As for you, my lord, how will you guarantee that you will be able to live up to such earnestness and will not betray Akama's indomitable citizens when the opportunity presents itself?
Surely you jest. My loyalty does not need to be proven. The fact that the Council of Elders is asking for proof of my loyalty is itself akin to a form of betrayal.
I am incredibly honored to have witnessed the both of you bury the hatchet in a civilized manner. However, I am afraid that I must interrupt. As the Theoros, I have observed the following. Lady Aglaya the Goldweaver is currently on her way to Dawncloud.
Oh. Well, I do believe that we might have a slight overabundance of guests.
Feeling dissatisfied, Lady Kindness? Despite the Council of Elders' lofty residence on Dawncloud, it must still tolerate.
So you were holding back just now. Seems like you are better at playing this game than I. In any case, I'm glad that she's arriving here. So tell me, Anaxagoras, now that you're an ally of mine, if Aglaya were to demand that I hand you over, what should I do?
You can do as she says. Tell her that the Council of Elders merely wished to chat with me and had no intention of offending her. However, by doing so, the authority of the Council of Elders will be as thin as papyrus that has been soaked in blood. Not only can it be destroyed at the slightest touch, but the Council will also lose possession of a valuable core flame. No, more like 2 core flames. After all, at the next Citizens' Assembly, that young lady who is synonymous with death will also be standing on our side.
Oh? How can you be sure of that?
Is that of importance to you? All you need to know is that I have a plan. In my opinion, you should be more worried about the impending threat. If Aglaya can seize me in full view of the masses today, she could also dismiss the entire Council of Elders in one fell swoop tomorrow. If that happens, the discussion that we've just had will turn into an utter joke instead. Is this the outcome that you wish to see, Lady Kindness?
Fine. I will handle this matter appropriately. But you do best to remember this. Fool the people and karma will be on your tail. I'll overlook it this time, but don't count on there being a next. Unless, of course, you crave cruel punishment and consider suffering the perfect state to ponder the true nature of souls.
Well, what do you know? That happens to be one of my rare talents.
We shall see, then.
Ah, I've got to say that you've managed to really impress me again. But shouldn't you be going after more?
Dying to know what I'm after.
I mean, I'm the reason Titan after all. It is in me to ask and seek answers.
Easy there. You'll learn the answers soon enough. I didn't bring it up with her purely because she doesn't have the means to give me what I truly want. It's as they say, onlookers see most clearly. The true masters of Dawncloud have always been the Theoros, who watches over everything.
An expected visitor. You know, you could actually skip all the pointless debate and come straight to me to seek an audience with Kefali. I have no reason to refuse you.
You may not, but Kindness has. Whoever gets hold of Kefali's core flame will get to rule over Akama. She's wary of me, so naturally I had to gain her trust. I would say that debate was not at all pointless.
Very true.
In my view, this individual has gone to great lengths to get close to Kefali. He might very well be plotting something nefarious against the Titan. Are you still willing to let him pass, knowing this?
Yes, very much so. All living creations are always free to visit Kefali's transcendent vessel. This comes with being the World-Bearer.
How convenient it is to be able to hear what they say.
It is truly my honor to speak to a venerated Titan in person. Please, go ahead. Let me... Oh, a bygone myth tells of an occasion where Kefali once answered their followers' questions on the peak of the Holy Mountain. Their followers have since believed that scaling this Titan cliff is one way of being with the god.
Hear that? It's not every day that you get to climb a mountain with Circes. You should sing me a hymn of praise.
Titan hymns are beyond me.
Go on ahead.
I have to admit, I never expected you to not ask me.
Because I believe carefully will not deprive you of your right to ask your question, especially now that you're on the brink of death. You must be closer to carefully than anyone else. Wouldn't you agree? Putting a child of justice, it is my hope that you...
Honestly, this is my first time going up to Dawn Cloud's peak.
What a splendid view. Isn't it about time you recognize the magnificence of us Titans?
Well, I don't see how this place is different from those temples in the city. All they have are magnificent facades. And even though I've come this far, I'm still doubtful about getting useful clues from him.
I must be getting ahead of myself to be expecting to hear something nice from you.
Oh? Haven't you been in my head for some time now? It's high time you get used to how I feel about things. All right, we're just a short hike away from Kefali. No time to waste here.
So the intellectual debate from earlier was too draining for you, huh? If Amphorius gets a new lease on life, you should focus on strengthening your body and stop shirking social interaction.
Save your concern.
The Titan is in sight. Can you make it?
Why? Are you going to carry me up if I were to fall now? I know how far I can go. So
fine then. I guess I won't say any more. I'll just wait till your soul dissipates completely to gain control over your body.
Wait. Is that... Circes? Hey, look at that.
Huh? What should I be looking at?
Am I hallucinating? Or do we even get to see souls when we're close to dying?
Oh? Why didn't you bring your favorite spear with you on this trip, Nias?
Nias? I know I've heard this name.
It's unfortunate. The Black Tide destroyed every last inch of my calyx.
How could that be? Even a creation of Georios, from their prized ores and molten fire, couldn't escape the fate of destruction.
Hey, Circes. Do you know a certain Nias?
Nias? No, not that I remember. How did you even think up such a strange name?
I just saw him. Nias. A warrior-like figure who was just chatting with you here.
No, I have no such memory. Could you be hallucinating?
This is... Watch this magic trick.
Enough about me. Did Kaos ever reply to you?
Well, regrettably.
Seems like the price of becoming a demigod is a lot heftier than we thought.
Chaos. Demigod? I've never heard of this person. Which Titan's authority did he inherit?
Look on the bright side, Nias. Since we've come all this way, I doubt he'd snub his old friends, would he?
Let's just hope we mean as much as the world.
Hey! Are you seeing that same hallucination again?
Yes. It's still you and Nias, but you're now talking about a certain Chaos. I'm guessing he's one of your companions?
Chaos? This name sounds just as strange to me.
Never mind. I think I know what this is about. If things are as I thought, then they aren't hallucinations, but the souls of people.
What? But if those are the souls of the dead, then what am I?
Beats me. For all I know, you're just an illusion I conjured up in my dying moment. Let's just keep going. As long as I take in more sights and hear more stories.
Know your limits. Wander too far among the dead, and even I might not be able to save.
Fine. If this is indeed as I thought, then this will be very amusing. So...
Can you keep going?
Of course. I'm just... If I knew we had to climb a mountain, I wouldn't have come along with you.
I guess this also counts as one aspect of the world-bearing burden. If Amphorius does have a next life, you may want to get your body in shape.
Keep your sarcasm to yourself.
I'm not getting anything of value from them.
I would sooner throw myself off this cliff and hit rock bottom than exercise even a little. I am Calypso of the eminent Seven Sages, after all. Training would make me no different from those Helcalithist barbarians.
Calypso. She's one of the Seven Sages. A member of the Grove. No, she can't be. I would know her name if she really were one. Hey, Circes. Does the name Calypso ring a bell? Circes? They're gone. Doesn't matter. I can do this myself.
Oh, beautiful old world. Where are you now? Oh, legendary era Chrysia, return to the mortal realm. Splendid gods once walked the paths we walk.
We're here. Finally. So... I don't get to ask the Titan my question. But all of you make for a pleasant surprise, nonetheless. Very well then. Let me uncover the truth for myself. Did I still fail to make it in time? So, I'm back here again. This is... I can hear it. I hear it from the depths of the tides, behind the closed doors of the void world. A voice ready to tell me something. This time, the voice is a lot clearer than before.
Since we've come this far, let's just wait.
Oh, now I know who they are.
Lord Nias and Miss Calypso. Are you both here to visit Chaos, too?
Yes, and we've been waiting for quite some time now.
Regrettably, he hasn't answered us. The worst-case scenario is that he's already been overwhelmed and crushed by the world-bearing burden.
Oh, now I know who they are. They are the people before they ascended divinity. Their names.
You're overthinking, Lord Nias. I can still sense Chaos' soul in the area.
And besides, we both know Gauss's nature. A deliverer like him wouldn't fall so readily, much less give up on all that he holds dear. Isn't that so?
Yes. I have faith in him.
That reminds me. Why are you making this trip alone, Polixia?
Oh, my sister needs more time to make sure the flowers are fine.
Such a pity. Both of you have hearts kinder than anyone else. Yet you are born only to take over Thanatos' divinity.
Everything that I see and hear this time has left me shaken to the core. What may seem like a mundane conversation is in truth a once-in-a-lifetime exchange that has revealed the ultimate answer to Circe's question. The conjecture has taken shape and must now be solidified into a theorem. Next, I only need to seek verification from Kefali. By doing so, I can answer Circe's question and reclaim my body. But no, I will not do that. That isn't important, because another one of my conjectures, one that I have always dreamed of proving, has been proved right this very instant. Fusing a mortal soul with that of a Titan to replace said Titan is not a ludicrous idea.
Huh? Danghan POV?
What are you thinking about?
Just amazed at how this towering tree is Justice's divine body. It's a majestic sight.
Is that so? You don't look the slightest bit amazed, though. Plus, you seem to be strangely familiar with the city around the great tree.
Merely something from the past that I won't give in to.
Events of the past, huh? I was also a child when I looked up at Circe's. Their leaves and branches reflected the sparkling stars. And their trunk was like a pillar that supported the sky and ground. I stood at this very spot back then, imagining the day when I could climb to the top of this tree. Because I would be the closest I can be to the sky at that spot.
You're a sky priest, yet you study at a place that is home to the Reason Titan. That's rather counterintuitive.
Don't read too much into it. I mean, can mortals even hope to reach Aquila's realm? They're a strict and draconian god. Nothing like Circe's. Reason is willing to share what is theirs with others, but Sky only expects people to revere them. You get what I'm saying, right, Denny? After all, the Titan that imprisoned you and Grey here in Amphorius is none other than Aquila themselves.
Yet I didn't count on provoking the eyes of a local
But there
god.
will always be people who dream of soaring towards the sky. The Grove has a wealth of research on Aquila, and that is exactly what we are here for. It's just... I never thought Grey would meet with something like that before we set off. As a physician, I should have been there by his side.
Bad luck tends to come in streaks, so don't get yourself beat up over it. Besides, a client needs you here to uncover the truth behind what happened to the Grove. Let's just make the most out of this trip and keep a lookout for any document related to the Death Titan. They should be useful to smoke.
There's no rest for the weary, huh? In any case, what we're looking for could be anywhere in this enormous grove. Let's split up to cover more ground. Danny, with your skills, I'm sure those monsters born of the Black Tide will pose no threat to you anyway.
How about you? Will you be alright on your own?
Have you
Lol. I came with Daniel.
Life's just like a game of tiles. You never know what's gonna come up next.
Every star is a miracle.
Really? Or you could... I'm kidding, Danny.
Let's try this one.
It's coming! Tiger the West Wind! Away we go! Mimi! Mimi!
Please, as you wish.
Let's settle this. Receive divinity.
I shall remember this order.
Bloom. Repay.
Watch close! Huge news!
Root here.
No,
a new
not
life.
this time.
I underestimated you.
Anyway, never mind that. This is new. I didn't know Professor Anaxa was researching this guy. Might yet. It is up. Oh, let me have a look.
I wish he actually talked.
Sure, go ahead. Anaxa often says that perhaps to him, the crab, it's a shame. I have a bad feeling about this. Could there be more to what happened at the Grove? This is the other than books, we've had more than our fair Nice. Whew. There are two.
With the currency of the team, definitely can't survive.
I can already see what they must... Why else would they call him the Are the Titans truly an... They marched him straight though what he took on, and the first allegation was... Anaxa would have probably been spared a lot. Needless to say, you claim to be studying soul. Anaxa always, every being in the world. Thankfully, they had one by one. It was only after a brief silence that he answered. Yes. By the way, this stack of, I'm talking about Anaxa's alchemy. It's a wealth evenly administered with the grove in this state.
I'm sorry that you have to come back here. By the way. Anyways, 5,000, 6,000, 3,200. Yeah, can't die. And some of the artifacts are not leveled up. Yeah. That's amazing. That's an amazing piece. I just feel my luck is real. Yeah, let me just... I'm not real, I just realized that I could do this. There you go. I have no use having duplicate versions of this. In fact, I should really level this up. I have extras. It's alright. There you go, level 18.
This is the place. But materials for alchemical experiment. No, not even close. Huh? That book? What's going on? This. My biggest fear. Anaxa was carrying out experiments on soul transmutation. Yes, this is what he was secretly conducting research on. Something he had to keep hidden from others. Compared to his public speeches, this is the real blasphemy. Oh, I just thought of something.
What's wrong?
Do you remember when the Black Tide was approaching? The Grove had planned to send Circe's core flame to a safe place. But an accident happened along the way, and Anaxa lost his life in the
But Circe took over his body and resurrected him, which led to the situation we are in now.
But what if Professor Anaxa's fusion with the core flame of reason wasn't an accident?
What do you mean?
Put yourself in his shoes. Knowing that the Black Tide was closing in and your time was running out, what would you have done?
I put my theory to the test, no matter
Exactly.
the cost.
When the Black Tide came, the true reason Anaxa headed to the Luminary Throne was to transmute and fuse himself with the Titan's core.
Did he
No.
succeed?
Judging from how he reacted after the event, the results came as a surprise. Maybe he failed to consider the possibility that Circes would make a similar The manuscripts detailing all the alchemical formulae have been taken away. His research is still ongoing.
Could he have taken them for some other purpose?
What? There's only one Titan left in the world now.
Carefully.
No way.
To convey an entity of perfection, one must understand the principle of creation. If an actor is in Akuma now, then
He's
that means
after Kefali.
he just want the answer was.
Sir, this sky above us, it's not real, is it?
Of course not. This is just an image from a projection device used for educational purposes. A simple trick. The day-night cycle has been lost to this world. So that students like you may still learn about the night sky, astronomers have harnessed the Titan's miraculous power to manipulate the light, projecting the nights of the past here. Much like how the sky above the Holy City is also illuminated by Kefali's dawn device.
So, the skies of Akama are fake too.
You mustn't conclude that, Anaxa. You should know that only a child would expose a trick and be proud of it. Often people know more than they let on.
And they're just deluding them. We have already realized.
So much time has passed since you sowed the seeds of doubt in my heart, child.
Why? Because we'll face death by burning if...
As a sage of the veneration, but above all else.
But I can, sir. I can do it for us. The time is right.
You're right. I shall do just that. In the next meeting of the sages, I will spare no efforts fighting for the rights you deserve. Go. Establish your own school of thought. Find out what we are. Become the one who conquers the ultimate truths.
Child of humanity, you didn't go to such lengths for an audience with Kefali. Just ask him a few questions.
So, you figured it out. If I were as foolish as a Dromus, perhaps I'd throw myself down and prostrate before their greatness, begging for the gods' prophetic wisdom. Well, sorry to disappoint, but I'm no Dromus. Alas, I am a human, standing tall on 2 feet, possessing both intellect and pride.
Before such power, does it make any difference whether you're a human or a Dromus?
I'm sure you're familiar with the story of the Styxians. When the raging waves threatened to swallow them, they didn't just give up and become sitting ducks. No. They constructed a dam that kept the roaring tide at bay, chaining down the mad Fagusa. They call me a blasphemer, Circes. But that doesn't mean I deny the existence of gods. As I see it, Titans are simply a force that mankind has yet to find a way to tame.
Oh? If power that rivals the Titans is what you crave, why not conform to the prophecy and brave the trial?
Why stop at harnessing the power of the Titans when I can do so much? The source of life is what I wish to grasp. To understand what makes up the soul, and to learn what we really are. Thanks to you, I've had the chance to personally verify, in more ways than one, that the soul indeed ceases to exist in death. How then is a soul born? That was the only unknown variable left in my calculation.
And by the sound of it, You have already formed a conjecture.
No. I have already drawn a
Professor Anaxa. I'm here. Her life hangs by a thread. I must ask you to refrain from taking any unnecessary steps.
Of course. I'll bring this to a conclusive end, and give you the answer you so desire. However, in accordance with the principle of equivalent exchange, I must also demand from you what I need.
As you wish.
Don't you care to know what the price might be?
It's a matter of uncovering the truth about the Death Titan and her survival. This may be the only time I can ever save someone's life. There is no need for me to think twice.
I see. In that case, let the show begin.
Indulge me. Am I correct to say that you intend to prove Thanatos' whereabouts and prove the nature of our existence now?
Before I begin, I must confess I had been stuck in a cognitive trap all this time. As unrelated as these two propositions may seem at first glance, they are in fact logical equivalents. They are merely two different ways of telling us about what the soul is at its core. The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now, but that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes. That's not all. Remember how I said you were a part of that conversation too, Circes?
And I've told you that I have no recollection of such an event. That was likely just an illusion conjured up by the mind of a dying man.
Of course you wouldn't remember, because that wasn't you. That was Calypso, one of the 7 sages of the Grove.
Calypso?
Huh? Oh, that's the name I made up on a whim when speaking to this girl. How do you know of it? And surely you jest. Don't you think I, of all people, would know if that were the name of one of the 7 sages under the shade of my tree? Don't you claim to know the Grove's past like the back of your hand?
It seems you've lost even the memories seared into your soul. Use your head, Circes. Since all of this took place in the realm of the dead, it stands to reason their likenesses are of souls from the past. The living cannot step foot into that world. So who could they be? Think about Calypso. Why does she share your likeness? Yet you have no idea who she is. The answer is evident, is it not? Those fallen heroes are the mortal incarnations of the Titans before their ascensions to godhood. The gods aren't master creators born out of thin air, and they are no different from humans, because they all evolved from one. Does this answer disappoint you?
Yes, because you've answered nothing. If I truly was once human, as you claim, then where do the children of humanity come from?
Even on the off chance that you speak the truth, this brings us no closer to grasping Thanatos' whereabouts. How are we to find them?
I knew you would say that, but it matters not. I know what I'm doing. Actually, why don't we have this supreme being standing before us tell us everything?
You can revive a Titan?
Humans cannot return from the dead. Neither can gods. But all we need to do is look at this from a different perspective, and the problem will resolve itself. The solution is simple. Just like what you did to me. If I'm reborn as Kefali, I can rebuild the world and all within it as they once did. Simple, is it not?
cutscene. No. In the meantime.
I have news from Hyacinth and Dan Heng. Anaxa might be trying to do something with Kefali's divine body.
Kefali? But what could Anaxa want? Is the Council of Elders going to sit around and let such a sacrilegious act unfold?
That is not possible. He is indeed the great performer, capable of fooling anyone and everyone with his tricks.
I'm sorry.
No need for guilt, for this is good news to us. The Council of Elders has found themselves a traitorous ally. Anaxa's ambitious desires will be something we can exploit. What we should be doing now is to keep our eyes peeled for whichever trickery Kindness is up to, and react accordingly to thwart her plan. Being Akima's political center, the demigod. Till then, it's best to get used to this place as soon as possible.
Oh, come on, I have to walk again. Oh my.
Preposterous! The Christos heirs only have their standing because of the Council of Elders. It's been a while.
Craterers. Hello, Olaf.
What is that supposed to mean? Is this really the sort of person that the young lord praised as a ferocious warrior?
It has indeed been some time, Lord Crateros. What brings you here in such haste?
Shh! Keep it down. Be more vigilant. See those duplicitous dogs over there? They do the dirty work for Kindness. I've already ordered my people to hold them back, but we should still lay low. Unless you're itching for a bloody fight to get a workout in.
My bad. So, did something happen?
Did you hear thunderclaps last night?
Hurry! Hurry, it's Acheron! Someone coming to save us!
What?
She's been through a lot lately. Please pardon her. Can you tell us more about these thunderclaps?
Thunderclaps are beacon signals of strife. They are a message from the young lord. He threw a spear bearing several words at Akama.
Watch out. The Flame Reaver is back.
Huh?
I guessed as much. We didn't actually kill them back at the Kremnos Arena.
I figured this is something you would want to know. We Kremnoans never back down from a fight. So if you plan to take that thing down in a battle, reach out to me anytime.
You have my gratitude.
Remind her to be on her toes while you're at it. That vicious Kindness has been unusually active lately. Those lackeys she keeps under cover have been going in and out of the city a lot more frequently these days. Some even seem to be getting Kremnoans to defect to the Council.
That's...
Looks like you can see it for yourself.
We should get back. Thank you for the intel, Lord Crateros.
Know what I should do? I should just take that thing out of its body.
By Kefali into Lenten above, as the Theoros, I have
Aglaya!
I know about the poisonous fangs of the...
What?
It is no longer about eloquence or argument. This has come a lot sooner than I expected.
Yes, this...
It is far easier. There is no glory in...
I appreciate what...
Oh, you've done well, Lord Calictus. Let me take over and personally close this debate for today. Dearest counselors, let it be known that I sorely miss the blissful times portrayed in lyrical poems. Yet, in the present, people from all over are forced to leave their homeland to seek refuge in the holy city, where they hope to rest under Kefali's protection. All of us have long been in the same boat with no way out of... We didn't have a choice in the past, but now... The Council of Elders brings to the table a new possibility. All I have left is one question for you. Would you rather strive toward the unheard of Era Nova? Or return to the prosperous Era Chrysia of our past? Make your choice now. Which of the two would lead mortals to an ideal future?
Ever Nova is the path of salvation. The gods promise. We should not have doubts in the flame chase journey.
We all know that Arachrysia is a thing of the past, Lady Kindness. Please, enlighten me. How does the Council of Elders plan to turn back time?
Let the three Titans of Calamity be born, and Arachrysia is nevermore. But bring demise to those Titans, and Arachrysia will descend upon us again. Know that the Council of Elders is never one to make empty promises. Look at who we have on our side. Anaxagoras, one of the Grove's 7 sages, and castorice, Idonia's goddess of death. With the help of these 2 heroes, I can promise all of you...
Aren't they Chrysos heirs? They're supporting the Council of
It's clear from the start that these heroes do not get along well in their group. All the more proof that Aglaya isn't fit to speak on behalf of every Chrysos heir. I am in favor of
Castorice? Why are you standing over there?
You finally arrived, Anaxa. So have you, Kaz.
Don't worry, Aglaya. Well, I know that you have many queries. Could you continue to converse like how the citizens normally do? Tell me, dear citizen, if we successfully retrieve and return Thanatos' core flame without anyone passing the Death Titan's trial, what would happen next?
The answer is simple. We will have a chance to rid the world of death and bring Amphorius back to an era when all beings live forever. We'll usher in a new future that will be entirely different from the flame chase journey.
He's one of the 7 sages.
Your proposal is much too idealistic. As long as the Black Tide still exists, how can we—
Remember what I previously said? Kefali's core flame is guarded by the secret power of the Council of Elders. Plus, Bakusa's water curtain will be able to block out any external perceptions.
He's lying.
Tell me, dear citizens, have any of you ever seen even a glimpse of the threat that this person is talking about anywhere within the walls of this majestic holy city?
Oh. Could it be that you heard that from the flame? Citizens, let's loudly sing the blessed hymn. Oh, beautiful old world, where are you now? Oh, legendary Arachrysia, return to the mortal realm.
After the destruction of the 3 Titans of Calamity, the flame chase journey will have to end.
Arachrysia! Yes!
This is bad. The masses are now totally riled up.
Anaxa, pray tell. Everything that you've mentioned hinges on the premise that we can find Thanatos' existence, right?
Thank you, Lady Aglaya, for still caring about this city. However, dear citizens, we are truly fortunate and blessed. For castorice, Idonia's goddess of death, will surely find Thanatos under my guidance.
What? With that, I solemnly promise that the core flame Lady Castorice brings back will be personally managed by the Council. Thereafter, if we are able to garner the support of all of you at the Citizens' Assembly, we shall spare no effort in ensuring that the Arachrysia will return to our world once again.
With the balance shattered, the result is clear. By Kefali into Lent and above, as the Theoros I have observed, Akama has chosen her destiny.
That should be a plot twist. No, 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 no.
Dear Aglaya, what has caused your heart to soften? You also don't seem to be as quick-witted as before.
Wag your tongue as much as you like. Since the flame chase journey has been preordained by the prophecy, our failure has never been on the cards.
Well then, I guess we'll find out if that's true at the Citizens' Assembly.
Well, it seems that when I sent you to look for Anaxa, I unintentionally facilitated your partnership with him instead.
My apologies, everyone. I know that you have many questions to ask me. I will answer them to the best of my knowledge.
In that case, please tell us as much as you can.
In actuality, he showed me a past that was both long and heavy.
The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now. But that's not...
Castorice Cube.
Have you heard of this tale before? A tale about the ocean god. It was a seaside town which enjoyed the ocean breeze and glorious, peaceful times, thanks to the wisdom of its ruling queen. Until one day, an evil dragon it barged into the tall tower and devoured the queen's beloved daughter. It even settled itself in her bedroom, like a tyrant king. The queen assembled 300 warriors who managed to subdue the evil dragon by chaining it up. However, it was then that the princess was reborn. The queen was overjoyed, blissfully unaware that the evil dragon's soul still lurked within the princess's body. Worse still, this terrifying death had consumed all. Thereafter, our hometown fell.
Until?
Actually, I don't know what happened next either.
Oh my. It seems that you still like to whet people's appetites even after all this time, Pelixia. So, according to your story, this is how I used to look? It's practically a mirror image. And yet, what exactly is this?
A miracle that I created with alchemy. As for what it is and how I was able...
Oh, my goodness. Is this cliffhanger really necessary?
Quiet, Titan. Continue to enjoy this splendid play, and the truth will naturally reveal itself.
Dragon, huh? I've heard this legend before.
In that case, what do you think of it?
I think that this so-called alchemy was a...
Indeed. Before I left home to pursue my education, I never even knew that anybody was looking into this area of study.
Therefore, we can just treat this tale as a
fable.
I guess it might...
Oh? I thought the moral might... What? At a loss for words?
No. I merely realized that we're both thinking of this...
Indeed. As expected of...
You flatter me. Why don't I ask you a question as well, as a form of equivalent exchange?
Of course. What is your question?
If I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you loved?
What? What kind of strange question is this? I got it. You're just trying to get me to tell you whether I like anyone, right?
Let's just leave it at that. That was rude of me.
Yes, I would.
Oh?
Death is inevitable. In the days to come, I'm certain that someone whom I cherish deeply will leave me for good. If such a mighty power really existed, I think I would use it without hesitation. After all, you, me, and the rest will all have to face that fateful moment eventually. My time is I am unable to complete the trial.
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. It is a pity that fate is such a cruel mistress.
Is there no other way of interpreting those words?
I'm afraid that the meaning is clear. Between my sister and me, one must pay the price. Our trial can only be completed when the one chosen sacrifices her life. I'm afraid that the prophecy might even have selected a pair of twins for this exact purpose.
Fortune makes fools of us all.
Oh wait, we almost have all
My
the
sister
titans.
is prepared to sacrifice herself. And yet, I can't do the same. How absurd. My time is almost up, but I'm still afraid to welcome death. What should we do? If I'm ultimately not able to make up my...
Since Chaos is willing to guide all of us and leave this trial to the end, there is still plenty of time for you.
That's right. Don't allow the fog of an uncertain future to cloud your mind.
Trial, prophecy, the topics that they're discussing seem familiar. But these three people must not have left their names in the epics. Otherwise, I would have some recollection of this.
Amphorius's history before the Titans were born was complete chaos. Is that not strange by itself? I have long held three hypotheses about this. However, let's continue watching.
Calypso, Polixia, and this warrior. I seem to...
Regarding this matter, Nias, are you confident that you'll complete your trial?
Of course. Though, I am worried about what will happen once I've emerged victorious.
Fire.
Looks like you have made up your mind.
Yes, this is the safest course of action.
Completely separating courage, honor, tenacity, sacrifice, and reason. You really know how to make things...
Please, young lady, witness my fall and demise. Lady Calypso, you shall host the soul-rending ceremony.
I do not understand. Why would you dare to sacrifice yourself for a future that you won't get to witness?
Because this is our destiny. The power that resides within me is so intense that I will one day be engulfed by it. Furthermore, a valorous death before glorious return has always been the path I chose to walk. A journey I began long ago. If your sister or Chaos were in my position, I believe they would make the same choice as well.
I'm not that brave. I don't know how I'm supposed to face such a serious affair.
Despite being Death's chosen one, it seems you still don't know how to face it. Let's chat, young lady. Perhaps I shouldn't end my journey so hastily. Since there's still time, I'm not worried about letting fate wait a little longer.
Of course. This warrior is Lord Anaias. As the embodiment of Nikador's divinity, he entrusted his life to us and allowed humankind to end his madness. That means that what I'm currently seeing before my eyes is in fact...
Looks like one hypothesis of mine has already been proven true. These heroes are the true forms of the Titans, before they attain their divinity. If so, the chosen one of death that he speaks of is actually...
Polixia? Is the previous form of Thanatos? But her appearance...
If this is true, as long as we can find out where she went, we'll naturally be able to figure out the location of the Death Titan.
But before that, we first need to witness what ultimately happened to Lord Anaias. Nikador's courage is a testament...
I've heard that these...
Honor, courage, tenacity, sacrifice.
And finally, the only thing...
Cheer up, young lady.
All farewells in this world. Although only...
To be honest, I am just enjoying...
Enjoying?
Indeed. And now I have reached...
But when you depart, separation and death...
Finally, the first time I returned from the battlefield, I felt extremely hollow. The calamity had devoured everybody on the battlefield but me. When I returned to the city alone, the citizens held a banquet for me that was far from pleasant. I felt as though I was still on the battlefield, and the person who had returned was nothing but an empty shell. It was late into the night by the time the banquet ended. My head still reeling, I returned alone to the barracks. On the way back, I encountered someone. It was a crazed scholar looking at the night sky and muttering to himself by the side of the road. Although I tripped over him and fell, I wasn't angry in the slightest. And maybe because I saw myself in him, I inexplicably asked him a question. Do you think that it'd be better if we just died on the roadside like a couple of stray dogs? To my surprise, he shrugged his shoulders and...
To someone who is currently experiencing death, dying and living afford the same amount of bliss. Now please, go away and don't block my...
Are you trying to say that there is no difference between living and dying?
That's exactly... Therefore,
the embodiment of...
It is time for me to knock on death's door. When that moment finally comes, let us drink and be merry then.
I knew this day would eventually come.
Are the both of you ready?
Mm-hmm. Polixia, I'm here.
Castorice?
What? This...
This is quite interesting indeed.
Is this... Polixia's sister? Is it... me? Now, it's time for us to fulfill our promises. Are you afraid? What are you afraid of?
That I won't be able to do it.
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. As foretold in the prophecy, and according to our vows, once it all ends, we must face our fated moment head on.
No, bro, it's like a Yoshizawa story, bro. No, bro.
Even if it was prophesized, do we have no say in the matter? It's so unfair. ones who are forced into mutual destruction. Let me do it, sister. Let me be death's sacrifice. I was never long for this world anyway. But you're different. I was the one who wasted your life after all.
You're wrong, Polixia.
I think she had trauma, bro.
I don't think that my life was wasted. Just the opposite. When I finally arrived at this destination and looked back at the journey I took, I discovered that flowers had long since bloomed along the path I walked. It was you who sowed the seeds for this sea of flowers. One that is more beautiful than the promised land at the end of the world. Besides, I have lived a fulfilling life. Even though I was fated for sacrifice, none of the things that I've experienced will dissipate. Instead, they'll forever live on as memories inside your head. Will they not?
How could my memories of you ever compare to the actual you?
Well then, tell me, what exactly are we?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But regardless of what the answer is, regardless of how we're shaped by others, or even by this world, ever since we were born, the fact that we existed was predestined, and nothing could erase it. This is why I will always, always be by your side. We're twins, after all. All right, my dear Polixia. It's time to extract my heart and light the flame of death. After that, use it to plant the first bud in the prophesied new world.
If I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you loved?
Death is inevitable. In the days to come, I am certain that someone whom I cherish deeply will leave me for good. If such a mighty power really existed, I think I would use it without hesitation. Even now, my answer remains the same. This is why, sister, I promise you, in the prophesied new world, I shall plant the first bud on your behalf. Go now. Return to the ocean god's treasured pearl, our hometown. I shall open wide the entrance to the Netherrealm and grant you a second life. The living beings on this earth shall respond to my call and lead you to the sacred daylight. Remember, do not look back on the land of the dead, and do not stop moving.
No, bro.
As for the price of our equivalent exchange, let me be the one to pay it.
Everybody, we've come to the end. Unfortunately, I am not compatible with the Supreme Being, so I was unable to completely fuse their soul into my own body. However, being able to glean all this from them is exciting enough. I'm certain of this now. Before the Titans that we are well acquainted with were born, a group of heroes roamed the land. These heroes followed a prophecy and took possession of divine authorities one by one, until they eventually became the pantheon of the new world. Just like the flame chase journey of today, Amphorius's history is cyclical in nature.
Huh. What a startling revelation. This means that the demigods, who bear the core flames, will also become the new titans at the world's end, thereby shaping a new world?
I believe that this is the truth behind the Era Nova, as mentioned in the prophecy.
This is utterly unbelievable. Besides, those twins in the past, even if they really are Thanatos, their whereabouts are still unknown even today.
Are their whereabouts truly unknown? Didn't Polixia mention that seaside town? The birthplace of alchemy and the tale of the dragon. In our world, there exists a city which perfectly matches that description. Styxia.
But the people there worship Vagusa and bear no relation to Thanatos. I have also never been to that place, as in the time of Idonia, it had long turned into underwater ruins.
Take this.
This is...
the Nuspor's masterpiece, the Philosopher's Stone. It was made by transmuting all of the sages' wisdom into a single entity, with their flesh and blood as its foundation. Remember, I've mentioned before that the art of alchemy is all about conversion, tempering, and ascension. This process also applies to the pursuit of truth. Regardless of how unbelievable this sounds, the truths of the world have been refined from the impurities. Think about the story of the dragon. This stone will lead you to your real hometown, allowing you to reform the door to the Netherrealm and discover Thanatos' fate.
You still look as confident in your victory as ever. But what if your conjecture is wrong?
Simple. I shall merely admit to the entire world that my experiment was a failure. However, my line of thinking will not fail because I have already planted the seeds of doubt into the hearts of the masses. Actions speak louder than words, castorice. With the assembly about to begin, don't forget the promise you've made.
I've already searched for so long. I'm willing to try one more time. While we converse, her life is also slowly slipping away. But before I leave, I have another question. What exactly did we witness just now?
That was the world imprinted in Kefali's soul. If we are to prove its existence, you must take the final step. Go. Do not disappoint me.
I understand.
Hey, child of humanity.
Don't get antsy. I still remember the question you posed to me. As a scholar, I do not wish to offer up ambiguous conclusions. Let's discuss this topic again when she manages to find the evidence.
I merely wanted to ask, was that stone transmuted from your heart? If so, rebirth is no longer an option for you.
Why not? When I was a child, I lost someone dear to me. When I was a teenager, I lost my faith. A while back, although you saved my life, I also lost my soul in the process. Now I'm merely forsaking my body. What's the big deal?
Why are you always finding ways to die? Isn't it good to be alive?
This is but a necessary sacrifice on my path to transform into the purest of them all.
Can someone who's dead even claim to be the purest of them all? Furthermore, if your hypothesis is proven correct, Does it not just confirm that the myths are true, and thereby invalidate all your theories?
No, it's just the opposite. If my hypothesis is correct, it means that I can actually ascend to godhood and reshape this absurd world that...
That's a lot to take in at once.
Lady Aglaia, please, let me explain.
Go on.
You know that the core flame of death has always been the greatest unknown regarding the Era Nova, which is why both you and Kynes desire to gain the power to control that core flame in the approaching citizen. Professor Anaxa has come to a consensus with Kynes. They want to suspend the trial once Thanatos' core flame is reclaimed, hoping thus to eradicate death from this world. If they're successful, then the flame chase journey will cease, and Akama can enjoy everlasting peace. But I know this runs counter to your wishes. So long as we do not usher in Era Nova, the Black Tide will never be eradicated. Even with Lord Mighty on the front line, and the Black Tide not posing an immediate risk, the danger nevertheless remains. Honestly, it's difficult for me to assess the pros and cons in this decision. But someone must bring the core flame before we can begin negotiations over it. The Titan could be very near. I cannot let this chance slip by. Besides, someone has to make this trip to bring back Mrs. Soul.
Well said. You already had every reason to seek an audience with Thanatos. It's that great performer who has weaponized your wishes and placed us in this difficult situation. A world without death. Do you desire that too?
If fate dictates that my path must oppose yours, I will do all I can to resist it and protect what I aspire to achieve. Lord Mighty showed me that without taking the first step, all talk of what follows is moot.
I have always hoped to hear you speak your mind, Cass. And I am glad to have heard your true thoughts. Styxia, go. I will not stand in your way. As for you, you are someone who has cheated death. I believe you have more than enough reason to make the trip with Castorice and meet the god of death himself. Castorice, I too look forward to your journey. I wonder what kinds of new interpretations your completed story will bring to the Flame Chase journey.
Thank you, Lady Aglaia.
I hate to put a damper on this heartwarming moment, but if Styxia is now an island surrounded by the river of Soul's torrents, then how do we find a way in? Lady Treeby's probably...
The answer is quite simple. In the myths, Zagreus once made the domain of the dead their treasure vault. That is to say, they could enter and leave the nether realm as they pleased, and if they could do that, then it follows that the demigod who inherited their divinity must be capable of the same. I'll see you at Memorial Palace at Action Hour tomorrow. Cypher shall be your guide to finding that ancient city.